Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name is Kyle, and in today's video, we're shooting this at Sunday night. It's July 25th. We're going to be doing a sleeper live mock draft. I'm going to kind of just do an auto draft on this one real quick, just so you guys kind of get the idea. We'll go through it quickly. It also just speeds things up for the video, too. So if you are new to Sleeper, they do have a pretty slick mock draft customizable platform here that we can mess with. I think for the settings that I have right now, let me see what we got. We're doing PPR. We're going to do a 12 team. We can do 60-second timers. It's just going to auto pick everybody that's not in here. But a lot of different fun customizable settings in here. You can change the roster settings too. In this draft, we're going to draft 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and then I added 3 flexes just because I like to be thorough. I like to be deep. The majority of the leagues that I play in, it's the same structure. It's just 2 flexes and then 1 super flex, but I'm just going to try to knock out as many flexes for you guys as I can, and I will draft 7 bench players. No kickers, no defense. Let's get those out of here. But that's pretty much the scoring settings here. We're going to join in the 7th position here. I'm trying to do a mock draft in all 12 positions, so we're filling out that playlist if you guys want to check out the Fantasy Fellowship mock draft playlist. But let's get this started. I'm going to go ahead and claim pick number 7, and let's just see how it falls to us. We got the ADP, everything down right here. The top few guys on the board: McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara, Henry, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. So it's saying we're going to get Nick Chubb if we want a running back at the worst. So let's hit start draft, and let's see how it goes. So again, it's going to be an auto draft. I think in the future, I will, send out a link and try to get some people in here. But here we go. We got the first 6 picks, all running backs. You got CMC, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, AK-41, Saquon Barkley, and then we missed out on Nick Chubb. So here we are, set to pick between Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott. And then if you guys are new to the Fantasy Fellowship, you should definitely subscribe to the channel, and then check out our 2021 draft kit. That's where I have access to all my projections and my rankings. So if I go here and look at my PPR rankings real quick, I got Ezekiel Elliott up here at RB5, which is pretty crazy. So I know a lot of people like Jonathan Taylor. I like Jonathan Taylor. I haven't moved up to my running back number 9 right now, but I think I want a piece of this Dallas offense. I'm going to get Ezekiel Elliott. I've made my case for Ezekiel Elliott in a handful of videos in the past, but if you go back and look at his top 5 games from last season, they were all the first 5 weeks with Dak Prescott. So I'm expecting really good things from that offense out in Dallas. After we took Zeke, you see Jonathan Taylor. So the first 8 picks, all green running backs. Then you see a mix of receivers: Devontae, Tyreek, Aaron Jones in there, Metcalf, Kelsey, Eckler, Mixon, Diggs, and Jefferson. So we missed on the top 5 receivers. It's telling me A. Brown, DeAndre Hopkins are the best receivers available. As far as running backs, they're a little bit low on Gibson. For me, I wouldn't mind taking Antonio Gibson here, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins. I like all these guys as my running back too. If we wanted a stud receiver, Hopkins and A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, those guys are all kind of, the pieces that I like here. But I'm going to go ahead and take a running back. Najee Harris looks really good as a running back too. I could take him, but I'm going to take Antonio Gibson, who I know they have as their 25th player. But I have Gibson ranked. As my RB12. I have him just next to Joe Mixon here. I feel pretty good about him being a top 12 running back this season. So after we take Gibson, you got A.J. Brown, Harris, Mahomes in the 2nd round, Hopkins, and then there's a run of running backs: Dobbins, Clyde, and DeAndre Swift. So the second-year backs are a huge trend this season. Kittle, Waller, we're up here to pick now, a couple receivers. They have Michael Thomas going off the board, so if we know Michael Thomas isn't going to play till week 8. I think he's going to be around 7, 8, 9 draft pick for us. But anyways, we got the 2 RBs here to start. I don't really care for the running backs available right now: Jacobs, Sanders, Carson. Not a huge fan of everything in that range, but I do like a lot of the wide receivers, whether that's Allen Robinson. We missed on the tight ends, so Allen Robinson does make sense. I think he's my highest rated guy. So that's what I'm going to pull here. We're going to pull Allen Robinson to be our wide receiver 1. And then let me take a peek and see where I have him. The Bears just traded Anthony Miller away, which I really like Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney now. So I have Robinson as my wide receiver 9, so I'm cool locking in top 10 wide receiver. After we took A-Rob, Keenan Allen, Josh Jacobs. There's Josh Allen at the beginning there, at the end of the 3rd. Sanders, Cooper, Jones, David Montgomery, Chris Carson, Evans, and Kyle Pitts in the mid-4th. And we are back up to pick. So we got Godwin, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Robert Woods. I don't know why Sleeper has CeeDee Lamb so late. He should be a much higher pick. And I know we're kind of heavily invested into the Cowboys offense with Ezekiel Elliott already. But I love CD. I think he should be gone by now. I might just change up my pick. If you want a quarterback early, getting Kyler and Lamar, Russell Wilson, Dak, those guys are all fun. But I think we got to go to a wide receiver here, whether that's Godwin or Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. I think I'm going to go, my highest receiver on the board is probably Robert Woods. So I'm going to take Robert Woods here to be my wide receiver 2. And for receivers, yeah, I have Robert Woods as my wide receiver 11. Cooper Kupp is at 14. But again, there's CeeDee Lamb, there's Keenan Allen. I got a lot of guys here that I like in the top 15. And we're back up to pick here in the 5th. You see Godwin, a couple running quarterbacks, Murray and Lamar. There's running backs, ETN, Henderson's in the 4th round, Gaskin, Kareem Hunt. And then you see we're starting to get a lot of blue, a lot of receivers in the mid rounds here. So we are back up to pick. In the 5th round, I could take Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott and just have fun at the quarterback position. Running backs available, James Robinson, Javonte, the rookie. We took 2 running backs early, so I don't know if we need one that high. There are some guys I like later to fill out our roster. But, man, we can get a nice receiver here, whether that's Deontay Johnson for Pittsburgh. That one sounds kind of fun. You can get Odell Beckham here in the 5th round. As far as tight ends go, Andrews, Hawkinson, I think I'm okay waiting. But taking a quarterback here makes a little bit of sense. I didn't get Lockett or DK Metcalf, so I'm gonna take Russell Wilson here. How do I? There we go. Hit the plus on Russell Wilson. So we got majority of our roster filled out here. Russell Wilson, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Gibson, Allen Robinson, and Robert Woods. This is looking pretty good. It's all NFC so far. So maybe we'll try to mix in some a little bit of AFC. But we're up to pick here. You see Deontay, Chase, Devonta, Juju, and Odell Beckham all go in our turn here. A couple quarterbacks we missed on. We already have Wilson. So Prescott, Herbert, and then the 2 tight ends go, of course. Now we are up to pick the running backs. Javonte Williams in the 6th round. That could be a lot of fun. Mike Davis is still kind of kicking it. We still have 3 flex spots to fill. So what do I like here? I like Ayuk. I like T. Higgins. I like a lot of these wide receivers here. I'm going to take T. Higgins. I think we want a piece of the Bengals offense this year. I could have taken Brandon Ayuk there. He's a pretty fun pick as well. I just know the Bengals are going to be a little bit more pass happy. And I have Higgins here as my wide receiver 26 in my projections. Jamar Chase is my wide receiver 24. And Tyler Boyd. Where did Boyd go? Tyler Boyd's 27. So I have 3 Bengals in the top 30 for wide receivers. We're back up to pick here. Again, you just see all the blue. A lot of receivers going in this round. A couple running backs, Melvin, Raheem Mostert, Javonte, Mike Davis, Fournette, Chase Edmonds. Just a bunch of flexes going off the board. And now we're back up to pick here. We still have a couple flexes to fill out. We got about 37 seconds. Jerry Jeudy, Deebo Samuel, Robbie Anderson, Laviska Shenault. I love all 4 of those players. That's probably a really good pick at this point in the draft. Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, James Conner. I would like it if one of those guys fell to us on the come around. And then as far as tight end, I really like Noah Fant. That could be kind of fun getting a Bronco pick here. But the wide receivers, man, we can still plug in some really good players. So should we take a Deebo, Robbie Anderson? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take Robbie Anderson. He's been a guy I've been very high on. He's the cheapest piece of the Panthers offense. And I have Robbie at wide receiver 21. So we're plugging in a handful of really good wide receivers. We missed on Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence. There's the receivers, Deebo, Jerry, Cooks, and Shenault. Ronald Jones, James Conner, Kenyon Drake. We missed all the running backs I wanted. If you guys are new to my videos, I absolutely love drafting James Conner at this point of the draft. We might want to, we got one more starting flex spot to fill. I feel really good about our 2 backs. It does make sense to maybe grab a Michael Carter, a Trey Sermon. At this point, we're just looking at all backup running backs anyways. And then the receiver depth, if Shenault or Deebo, Jerry would have made it to us, I probably would have leaned that way. But we're going to go ahead here and take the rookie running back for the 49ers in Trey Sermon. There was a good blurb about him today, maybe being in the Tevin Coleman role 2019, which was like 42% of the snaps. So they're going to use Sermon a lot. And I think they're going to use him earlier in the games and let Raheem Mostert or maybe Wayne Gallman kind of bang it out in the 3rd and 4th quarters. But we are back up to pick in the 9th round. You see 3 tight ends go, Goddard, Gesicki, and Gronk. Few receivers like Jarvis Landry, Marquise Brown, Will Fuller. A handful of quarterbacks. And then, of course, Michael Carter, David Johnson. I like Damian Harris a lot here. I think as we're filling out our rosters, we got Zeke, Gibson, and Trey Sermon as our top 3 backs. I have 4 really good wide receivers that I feel good about: Robinson, Woods, Higgins, and Robbie Anderson. Of course, Russell Wilson. Damian Harris, man, he's going to be the leading ball carrier. He's like the last good starter left at this point. So we're going to hop on the Damian Harris train, and we'll see what happens. We got Harris and Trey Sermon to kind of figure out who's going to be our running back 3 there. It might be requiring some patience, but I feel really good about that group so far. And then Tannehill, Deshaun Watson go off the board, Robert Tonyan, Irv Smith, Logan Thomas. We don't have a tight end yet. We should probably look at that. And then a couple receivers here. So who's best available for tight end? Tyler Higbee. I like Higbee, Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, Jonnu Smith. We're going to probably be making some kind of just group of tight ends at this point. Let me see the receivers. Curtis Samuel. We're going to draft Michael Gallup. He should not be on the board here. Sleeper ADP needs to get that correct. Michael Gallup in the 10th round. Oh, my God. All right, so that's sweet. We still have a handful of bench spots to fill. We're going 0 tight end, people. We're going 0 tight end. If we can get Higbee, Higbee just went. I do like Jonnu. I do think Evan Ingram can be useful too. As far as the backup quarterback, we really don't care. We're pretty set at running back. There's really nobody that I desire to have at this point. Tons of wideouts still available. I like Darnell Mooney, but we got A-Rob already. So I think the move here is to probably grab some tight ends. So I'm just going to grab Evan Ingram. I know it wasn't great last season, but Evan Ingram got a little bit of help this year to take some pressure off of him, which I think could be nice. You guys remember when Evan Ingram was at his best, he had Julio Jones or Odell Beckham on the team, and just hasn't been pretty the last few seasons. It was his worst season of his career last year, but he still saw 109 targets. And then it's nothing pretty, but again, with Kenny Golladay there now, there could be some reason for optimism for Evan Ingram. And as cheap as he is, 11th round, who cares at that point? And then I guess we should probably double dip on another tight end here. I might even draft 3 tight ends in this draft. And we are going to draft Jonnu Smith here, who I think is like my tight end 11. Let me see. My tight end 14, so I'm getting a potential top 12 guy. There was a huge run on tight ends early that we missed, so we're going to try to fill out a group here, and it's not a bad strategy. Tight ends kind of come out of nowhere. You look at Logan Thomas and Robert Tonyan last year, both crashing the top 5 tight ends. It's not a bad idea. If you don't get one of the top ones, I like waiting, so I do think we're going to be okay here. Backup quarterback, we got Russell Wilson in a 1-quarterback league. I think it's so not very important. It's week 9. We have time to figure out a backup QB if we choose. The running backs don't excite me. The tight ends, though, Gerald Everett, Jared Cook, Cole Kmet. I still like Blake Jarwin, kind of heavy into the Dallas offense. I like Anthony Firkser, too. He could be kind of fun. As far as wide receivers left available, Traquan Smith could be kind of an interesting guy. Gun to my head, I'm going to take we're going to take Emmanuel Sanders here, and let's see what happens with that. Because Buffalo is interesting, man. He's going to be their 4th receiver on Buffalo. You're going to basically pencil him into John Brown numbers right away. And if he stays healthy, it sounds like Emmanuel Sanders is doing really well with Josh Allen so far. So back up to pick here. You see a lot of backup running backs coming off the board. I like to kind of keep taking my positions that I need here. So I'm going to take Anthony Firkser. We'll take I like Cole Kmet too, but I don't have any major Titans offenses just yet. So I think 3 tight ends, Ingram, Jonnu Smith, and Anthony Firkser, that should be enough for us to, play the positions and see who falls to us and what we like. 1 second, I gotta send a text. Okay, so we got 2 more bench spots to fill. At this point of the draft, we're looking for guys with high upside. We could keep taking tight ends. I don't know if I care for it. What about some of the running backs at the back here? I mean, they're all kind of handcuff guys. Nothing really sticks out at the moment. I really like our group here. We can maybe snag a backup quarterback: Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston, Derek Carr. Maybe we take one on the way back here. But our wide receivers, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, T. Higgins, Robbie Anderson, Michael Gallup, Emmanuel Sanders. Feeling really good about that group. The tight end group, I'm just going to grab – we're heavy in the Dallas offense, but I'm going to grab Blake Jarvis if he returns healthy from Dallas camp and it's looking good. He was set to be a tight end 1 last season. Dalton was a tight end 1 last season. So we're going to figure out our tight end position, and now we have our 16th round pick here, so I'm just going to throw out some names. Like Traquan Smith, this sleeper ADP has not adjusted to the Michael Thomas news quite yet. He should be gone a lot higher than we see. if Aaron Rodgers does end up playing for the Packers, MVS is worth a dart throw at the end. Again, there's really not any running backs that I like. Maybe we'll go ahead and grab so typically in the draft, what I'll do is I'll look forward ahead a little bit. Russell Wilson's got a bye week 9. I'd go look for matchups and things like that. But Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston, Derek Carr. I'm just going to take Ben Roethlisberger. We'll see what happens. Sometimes, that could pay off, just taking a veteran quarterback with your last pick, someone you know is going to stay on your team. But that's it. That's the sleeper mock draft. So we'll kind of recap it here. This was a quick one. I'll probably do more sleeper drafts where we get more real people in it. This was just an auto draft, so I thank you for hanging out with me while we'll just knock out this video real quick. But again, we'll recap it here. We started with Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Gibson, 2 running backs to start the draft, and then we went heavy wide receiver. Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Russell Wilson, T. Higgins, and Robbie Anderson. I think that's a really strong start to the draft. Our first 7 picks are really solid. Trey Sermon, we got a rookie running back in our back pocket and see what happens with him. Damian Harris, strong veteran. Year 3, not really a veteran. He's a 3rd-year back, but he's set to have a career workload. Michael Gallup. Sleeper ADP, man. We got to get Michael Gallup into that 7th, 8th round where he belongs because he's going to be a stud this year. And we went with 4 tight ends at the end of our draft. And again, if you miss on one of the top 3, 4 tight ends, you got to make a group of tight ends. So Evan Ingram, Jonnu Smith, Furter, Jarwin. I'm totally fine. Within the first 2-3 weeks, we're going to know if one of those guys hits, and if they don't, we can move on. We can trade one. We can do whatever we want. So I love making a group of tight ends. And then Roethlisberger, I mean, at that point of the draft, he still has some probability of balling out some weeks. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much. Check out the mock draft playlist. I think I'm going to start linking that in the description below, so you guys can check out all those ones there. And then I do number each mock draft, like what spot I took. So if you know what spot you're drafting, you can watch that video. I also take requests. So if you guys want if you want Yahoo, ESPN, Sleeper, FF Calc, whatever platform, we can do that. And then just tell me what number, tell me how many teams. We can do a custom mock draft for you guys. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your night. Peace.